This is Mac OS Ken.
Maybe Earth isn't a place for Apple. Scuttlebutt around iPhone 13 and tales of Apple TV Plus. It is Friday, the 8th of October, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Notion, one workplace for your startup. We've talked all week about how Notion can help your startup, putting processes, note-taking, project management, and more into one easy-to-use place. Lots of businesses and startups have already put Notion to work for them, and their work can work for you. Notion has a worldwide network of millions of users creating templates, tutorials, and new inspiration, and they're sharing, which might make what you're doing even better. For startups, Notion can provide a full-on operating system for running every aspect of your company, keeping everyone aligned as you grow fast and take on more. Interested? Want to find out more? Notion is running a special offer just for startups. Get up to $1,000 off Notion's team plan by going to notion.com/startups. To give you a sense, that is almost a year of free Notion for a team of 10. Again, that's notion.com/startups to receive up to $1,000 in free credit to use Notion with your team. That's up to a $1,000 value when you go to notion.com/startups. If Apple execs are looking for respite, I can think of no better suggestion than that given in the movie Blade Runner. A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies, a chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure. Because this planet keeps getting prickly for the Cupertino company. Mac Rumors ran a piece Thursday saying that authorities in the Netherlands have deemed Apple's in-app purchase requirements anti-competitive. Did you even know the Netherlands was looking into the App Store? Apparently they have been since 2019, though, in fairness to the forgetful among us, a lot has happened over the past couple of years. According to the report, Apple's in-app purchase requirements are anti-competitive. The Netherlands Authority for Consumers and Markets, or ACM, has decided. The ACM has ordered Apple to make changes to the rules that force developers to use in-app payment options. The whole thing apparently centers on dating apps in the Netherlands. Kind of funny then that the Dutch ruling has been kept on the down low. Mac Rumor says the ACM told Apple about its decision on in-app purchases last month, and it was the first antitrust regulator to decide that Apple has abused its market power in the App Store. Apple has not been fined, but the ACM wants it to make changes to in-app purchase rules. A formal decision is expected from authorities before the end of the year. If such decisions have put Apple up the creek, at least there is a paddle. VentureBeat says Paddle, the revenue platform, is setting itself up as the first alternative payment for Apple users that is not the in-house payment software. The way it's supposed to work, users tap a button in an application that takes them to the Paddle site. There they can pay with a number of payment methods, including PayPal and Apple Pay. This would let developers avoid paying Apple its 30% in-app purchase cut. Instead, developers would pay 10% for transactions under $10 and 5% on transactions over $10 to the third-party payment processor. Theoretically, that is a savings that developers would pass on to consumers. Maybe we'll find out. In addition to the smaller cut, VentureBeat says Paddle also claims that its software offers developers better options for customer support, subscription control, and refunds, and purchase data. I've seen a few folks online say that there is no way Apple will allow this, though as it stands right now, it's hard to see how Apple could disallow it. According to this summer's ruling in the epic battle with Apple, Apple is permanently restrained and enjoined from prohibiting developers from including in their apps and their metadata buttons, external links, or other calls to action that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms. We'll see what happens soon. VentureBeat says Paddle software will go live on the 7th of December, around the same time the court's injunction against Apple's restrictions goes into effect. And now, back to Planet Trouble. Japan's Fair Trade Commission is investigating Apple and Google for potential market manipulation. That is the word from the Japanese business site Nikkei. According to the piece, the antitrust watchdog will compile a report outlining OS market structure and the reason why competition has remained static. Not for smartphones only, Nikkei says the FTC will look at smartwatches and wearables as well. At first glance, it's hard to see what part Apple could play in this. Apple makes the hardware and the software. If people choose it, and they do, smartphones are divided 70% iPhone, 30% Android in Japan. If people choose Apple over the many Android alternatives, how is Apple at fault? According to Nikkei, any developer of apps, whether they specialize in music, streaming videos, ebooks, or mobile games, need to match the software with specifications of the operating systems if they want to appear on smartphones. That wording is weird. I'm guessing, though, where Apple is concerned, they're talking about the in-app purchase structure and other requirements for getting an app into the App Store, and whether that ultimately harms consumers. The Google thing is a bit easier to understand. Quoting Nikkei again, Google has been accused of telling device makers to include its search app as a condition for having Android installed. Consumers who use those devices are unable to use other search apps. That does not sound right. For maybe the third time in my life, I went to the Google Play Store while writing this story. I searched for Google competitor DuckDuckGo in the Google Play Store and found that alternative, followed by several other search engine apps available for Android. That said, I can see where requiring inclusion of Google could be viewed as a no-no. As for what's next in Japan, probably another investigation when this one's over. According to Nikkei, Japan's Fair Trade Commission has been scrutinizing the digital sector since 2019. A probe of the cloud services market was launched in April. The latest inquiry will be the fourth taken in this initiative, following the e-commerce market and app stores, digital advertising, and cloud services. Oh well. Apple will always have Ireland, though it won't be the tax haven it has been. Apple Insider says Ireland on Thursday announced that it will join an Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, agreement that brings an end to the country's low tax policy for large multinationals, an incentive that attracted companies like Apple and Google to its shores. How terrible are things going to be? Not terribly terrible. Ireland's tax rate for multinationals has been 12.5%. Joining the OECD will move that rate to 15%, a number that Ireland's finance minister said he made firm. The original proposal called for a minimum tax rate on the multinationals of at least 15%, so you're welcome. Names you know will need to pay the higher rate, assuming they stay on the Emerald Isle. Multinationals with global revenue of 750 million euros, or $867 million US or less, can keep paying the 12.5% rate. All of this assumes that all of this happens, barring unforeseen roadblocks, Apple Insider says. The OECD rules are scheduled to go into effect in 2023. In the middle of the night Thursday night, amidst stories of Apple closing its online store ahead of the Apple Watch Series 7 launch, news of new iPhone sales firing up. Mac Rumors ran a piece saying that Friday marked the first day of availability for iPhone 13 and the other phones in the 13 line in a number of new countries, including Malaysia, Mexico, South Korea, Thailand, and others. Will they like it more than respondents to a survey from SellCell? Earlier this week, Cult of Mac ran a piece highlighting a survey from the cellular buyer and seller. Talking to 5,000 iPhone owners, SellCell says most of them were kind of meh on the new lineup. According to their numbers, 14.4% called the iPhone 13 update extremely or very exciting, 21.5% called it somewhat exciting, and 64.1% called it not very or not at all exciting. It may be the disappointment of the S cycle, even though it's not called iPhone 12s. According to the report, when SellCell carried out a similar survey a few months ago before Apple made the iPhone 13 lineup official, 43.7% of respondents said they plan to upgrade this year. That figure has now dropped to 20.5%. The SellCell surveys were interesting, though not necessarily indicative before the iPhone 13 announcement. Same goes for after. Surprising no one, the betas seeded to developers on Wednesday ended up out to the public testing program on Thursday. iMore ran a couple of stories on a couple of the betas, one saying that the third iOS 15.1 public beta was out, and the other saying the same for the third public beta of iPadOS 15.1. Meanwhile, a piece from Mac Daily News heralded the third public beta of watchOS 8.1, and finally, it was a piece from Mac Rumors that let me know about the latest beta of macOS Monterey, making it out to the plebs. If you're in the program, you know how to get what is to be gotten. If you would like to be part of that not-so-secret society, info awaits at beta.apple.com. More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Debt can feel like a long, dark tunnel. Upstart can be the light at the end of that tunnel. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. That's that light at the end I was talking about. Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, factoring in income and current employment. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSken. UPSTART, that's upstart.com/macOSken. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Upstart.com/macOSken. Apple's first developer academy in the U.S. is open for learning. Apple Insider says classes started this week at the Detroit Apple Developer Academy, conveniently located in Detroit. Launched in partnership with Michigan State University, the piece says the academy is currently serving 100 learners between 18 and 60 years of age. They'll go through 10 months of app development and entrepreneurial training, but that is not all the program has to offer. Apple Insider says Apple expects the Academy to host nearly 1,000 students every year through the Developer Academy and smaller 4-week foundation courses designed to introduce coding to new learners. No previous coding experience required, and no money either. Like other Apple Developer Academies, the piece says, Apple is providing hardware and software for program activities, and students can enroll at no cost. Let us end our day gazing into the phantom zone. The Apple TV Plus app is making its way to older flat screens. Mac Rumors says a scaled-down version of the application has gone live for LG Smart TVs circa 2016 and 2017. Scaled down as in good for Apple TV Plus, and that's it. While the Apple TV app for more recent TVs supports content from iTunes as well as other sources, the new app for old sets only allows owners of the webOS-based TVs to watch TV Plus content. Foundation will be back for a second season. Apple issued a press release Thursday announcing the decision. In it, Matt Cherniss, head of programming for Apple TV Plus, said, "We have been so excited to watch global audiences embrace the captivating, suspenseful, and breathtaking thrill ride that is Foundation. We know how long fans of these beloved Asimov stories have waited to see his iconic work brought to life as a visually spectacular event series, and now we can't wait to showcase even more of the richly layered world, compelling storytelling, and stunning world building that David S. Goyer has created in Season 2. And we are not even halfway through Season 1 yet. Episode 4 of the first season hits Apple TV Plus today. The remaining 6 will hit one per Friday through the end of the season." News of a couple of trailers of upcoming Apple TV Plus shows. First, iDownload blog says the Cupertino streamer has given the world a sneak peek at the murder mystery comedy series, The Afterparty. According to the report, The Afterparty is a murder mystery comedy set at a high school reunion after party. Each of the 8 episodes will feature a retelling of the same night, told through a different character's perspective, each with its own unique visual format and film genre to match the teller's personality. Chris Miller and Phil Lord, both of whom wrote and directed the Lego Movie, are the folks behind The Afterparty. Of the series, they say, "This is one of the most surprising, original, and fun projects we've ever made. Our goal was to tell a comedic whodunit story in a new and exciting way. By giving each episode its own unique style of storytelling, we were able to make what feels like 8 distinctly different but interconnected films that highlight how everyone's personal perspective and biases shape how they see the world." That makes it sound unfunny, though the trailer did make me laugh. You can see that now on YouTube. The Afterparty is set for sometime in January. And finally today, the other show that got a trailer Thursday should involve a lot less murder. Another piece from iDownload blog has word of Hello Jack, the Kindness Show. See, just the title says, less murder. Adding to the Cupertino streamer's growing slate of kids shows, the piece says Apple describes the upcoming show as a breakthrough live-action series aiming to explore kindness through empathy, imagination, playfulness, and humor. Humor it should have. One of the show's co-creators is Jack McBrayer, Kenneth the Page from 30 Rock. He will be the show's host. It should also have the kids thing down. The other co-creator is Angela C. Santamaro. She was a writer on Blue's Clues. In describing the series, Apple says, Jack inspires kids to solve problems with heart. The series showcases stories where acts of kindness are shown through the 3 C's: caring, connecting, and cascading from one person to another. The show definitely has some heavy Blue's Clues vibes, according to iDownload blog. I wouldn't know about that. I was too old for Blue's Clues, though I do get a bit of a Mr. Rogers feel from it. You can see the trailer for yourself on YouTube, or if you want to wait for the show, you won't be waiting long. Hello, Jack, The Kindness Show starts the 5th of November on Apple TV+. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Notion. One workspace for your startup. Get up to $1,000 off at notion.com/startups. This show is also sponsored by Upstart, fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Cha.